Have you ever wondered why? When standing at the edge of a cliff or on the rim of a tall building looking down, you suddenly feel shaky, as if there's an invisible force pulling you down? Yet, cats don't seem to have the same fear as we do. They don't tremble but walk gracefully on narrow walls, even in places far more dangerous than what we face. Or take dogs. For example, if a dog is kicked hard by someone, it yelps and runs away. The next time it sees that person, it will avoid them, but as long as it's no longer in danger and has food and shelter, it remains happy, showing no signs of holding a grudge for weeks over the incident. But we humans? We're different. We can remain upset for days, sometimes even suffer for years, because of something that happened in the past. Imagine someone having the opportunity to visit a stunning seaside location at sunset. Yet, if a loved one of theirs had tragically passed away just a week earlier, how do you think that person would feel? The truth is that many people in such a situation would find it difficult to enjoy the moment. Even in perfect conditions, humans can still experience suffering, sadness, and anxiety. So, why is that? Why do fear and prolonged emotional pain affect us throughout our lives? Dr. Hayes explains in his book that there is a secret you need to know. You are not alone in your suffering. Everyone suffers. If we don't die young, all of us will eventually experience the heartbreak of losing a loved one or enduring physical pain. Everyone feels sadness, disappointment, anxiety, fear, and confusion. We've all had moments of embarrassment, humiliation, or regret. Each of us carries painful secrets that are hard to express. We often wear a mask of happiness, pretending that everything in our lives is fine when, in reality, it's not, and often cannot be. As human beings, we experience a far deeper and more complex pain than any other species on Earth. And this pain cannot be measured in simple numbers. So, what makes our suffering greater than that of other creatures? The answer is language. Because humans possess language, we also have thoughts and the ability to create countless associations. While our thoughts help us solve problems in the external world, they often cause problems when applied to our inner world. Today, this book introduces you to an incredibly effective way to escape the quicksand of suffering. This method is called acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT. Dr. Hayes, the creator of ACT, is a pioneer in contextual behavioral science. He is a lifelong professor and mentor at the University of Nevada's Department of Psychology, and he has served as both president of the Association for Contextual Behavioral Science and the Association for Behavioral Analysis International. With nearly 600 scientific articles and 44 published books, Dr. Hayes wrote this book with the goal of simplifying the ACT method for everyone, helping you to heal yourself. This approach enables you to detach from the control of language and your mind so that you can live freely and fully take charge of your destiny. Now, let's delve into today's topic, titled, Detach Yourself from Your Mind and Take Control of Your Life. You said, Teep Tuk, ChatGPT said. Why does our mind deepen our suffering? According to the author, humans generally face two types of pain. 1. Direct pain, such as physical pain from illness or injury. 2. Pain through suffering, where pain continues to haunt and cause prolonged distress after an event has passed. For example, when someone loses a loved one, they may feel unable to be happy again. They might believe that experiencing joy would be a betrayal to the deceased. Thinking, "How can I feel happy when they're gone?" This is something that distinguishes us from animals. Animals feel pain but don't carry the psychological burden of that pain into the future. For humans, suffering often clings to the past and future. We either continue to endure the pain of what has happened or fear the pain that might occur. This is how suffering operates. It locks us in a cycle of anxiety and regret. When suffering occurs, it's natural to want to suppress it or escape it. But how do most people try to stop suffering? They turn to thoughts and language to control or soothe themselves. Common ways we face emotional pain. Think back to moments when you've been sad or distressed. How did you respond? Some people reassure themselves with statements like, "I'm okay. Everything will be fine." Others shift their thoughts to distract themselves by focusing on work, goals, or new activities. There are also those who seek entertainment. Go on trips, shop, eat, drink, or turn to addictive substances to numb their pain. Physical outlets like exercise, boxing, or high adrenaline sports are another way people try to manage tension. While some of these methods might seem healthy, they all share one flaw: they remain under the control of the mind. By relying on thoughts to address emotional pain, people only achieve temporary relief. The pain persists because the underlying process remains unexamined. The trap of language and thought. Language and thought operate similarly to suffering. They constantly revolve around the past and future, focusing on 1. What's coming next, 2. Evaluating results, and 3. Comparing past outcomes. These thought processes never stop. When we use our mind to confront inner pain, it's like playing tug of war with a monster, one that our mind itself has created. This monster knows all your fears, desires, and vulnerabilities. It has immense power over you because it originates from your own thoughts and experiences. The more you suppress thoughts, the stronger and more intrusive they become. For example, imagine standing on the edge of a cliff. If you tell yourself, "Don't step forward," a part of you may feel an urge to do exactly that. This is known as thought suppression, and it's a mental trap. The harder you try to avoid a thought or behavior, the more your mind fixates on it. Over time, these thought traps can feel inescapable. How do we escape the trap? The first step is to stop playing the tug of war. Dr. Hayes advises that the way to end suffering is to stop trying to control it. Detach yourself from the mind's constant chatter and step out of the mental battle. 3 core steps to regaining control of your life. 1. Acceptance. Understand that avoiding or suppressing pain is futile. Instead of resisting, acknowledge your pain and tell yourself, "I deeply sympathize with myself for having tried so hard to cope with this pain." Don't criticize yourself with thoughts like, "Why am I so stupid?" or "Why do I keep making these mistakes?" Offer yourself the compassion you would give to a friend who has suffered. This self-compassion allows you to move forward. 2. Letting go. This may be the hardest part, but it's also the simplest. Great wisdom traditions, including Buddhism and Taoism, teach that true peace lies in letting go. Consider the act of relaxing your body. It seems simple, yet how often do we remain tense without realizing it? Right now, take a moment to release tension in your shoulders and jaw. Feel how natural it is to let go when you stop forcing control. In the same way, Stop trying to control your thoughts and emotions. Let them exist without resistance. Trust that you can move through life without constantly battling your mind. 3. Adopting positive acceptance. Oh, this doesn't mean pretending everything is fine or forcing yourself to be happy. True positivity comes from fully feeling your pain and acknowledging it as part of your human experience. Oh, for example, if you accidentally cut your finger, you might say, "Ah, so this is what pain feels like." By directly experiencing the sensation, you shift your perspective and develop emotional resilience. Dr. Hayes beautifully describes this process with the following metaphor. Hold your pain like you would hold a delicate flower. Cradle your suffering like you would comfort a crying child. Sit beside your pain like you would sit by the bedside of a sick friend. Rather than fighting pain, you respect it, listen to it, and allow it to exist without overwhelming you. This approach fosters genuine growth and strength. Next step: disentangling from thoughts. Many people suffer because they become fused with their thoughts and emotions. For instance, if you fear that you might fail, your mind treats that fear as if it's already true. Let's try a simple exercise. Would you feel disgusted by your own saliva? Probably not. You swallow it all day without a second thought. Now imagine spitting into a glass and drinking it. Suddenly, the same saliva seems repulsive, even though nothing about its composition has changed. This reaction is entirely based on thought and perception. This is an example of cognitive fusion, where words and meanings become intertwined with emotions. To regain control, we need to practice cognitive diffusion, which involves stepping back from our thoughts and observing them objectively. Would you like me to continue with the methods Dr. Hayes recommends for observing and detaching from thoughts? Smile. You said. Teep tuk den het. ChatGPT said. Methods for cognitive diffusion. Dr. Hayes offers several practical exercises to help detach from your thoughts. 1. Observe your thoughts. Instead of identifying with your thoughts, try observing them as separate from yourself. For example, when you feel sad, instead of saying, "I'm sad," say, "I notice that I am having the thought that I am sad." This shift in language creates space between you and your thoughts, making it easier to see them for what they are, temporary mental events rather than absolute truths. 2. The camera on the wall technique. Imagine a camera recording your life from a neutral perspective. Suppose you're arguing with your partner. The camera would simply capture what's happening. A heated conversation between two people who care about each other but are currently upset. Seeing yourself from this perspective can reduce the intensity of your emotions, helping you realize that this is just one moment in a larger story. 3. The river exercise. Picture a stream flowing in front of you. Write down each negative thought or feeling on a leaf and place it on the water. Watch as the leaf slowly floats downstream and fades out of sight. This exercise reinforces the idea that thoughts and emotions come and go, they don't define you. 4. Repeating a word until it loses meaning. Choose a word, such as bread, and say it out loud repeatedly. After a few moments, the word will lose its meaning and become just a series of sounds. You can do this with distressing thoughts as well, stripping them of their emotional power. 5. Describe your emotions. Instead of reacting to your emotions, try describing them with sensory details. For example, if you feel anger, ask yourself, "Oh, what color does it have?" Oh, what shape is it? Oh, does it feel hot or heavy? One person in therapy described their anger as a red, steaming cube, as they imagined placing it on a table. The cube slowly cooled and became lighter. This exercise helps externalize emotions, making them feel more manageable. Mindfulness and presence. The author emphasizes the importance of practicing mindfulness. For instance, if you enjoy jogging, try doing it without distractions, no music, no podcasts. Focus solely on your breath and the rhythm of your steps. This practice, known as flow, helps you fully experience the present moment, reducing the tendency to dwell on negative thoughts. Commitment to action. After accepting your pain and detaching from thoughts, the final step is to take committed action toward a meaningful life. But what does it mean to live a life of value? Dr. Hayes explains that values are not goals, emotions, successes, future achievements, or a smooth, problem-free life. Instead, values are the guiding principles that shape your choices and behaviors. To discover your values, ask yourself questions like, what kind of parent, partner, or friend do I want to be? How do I want to contribute to society? What kind of experiences do I want to pursue? Write your own eulogy. One powerful exercise is to imagine writing your eulogy. How would you want to be remembered? This reflection helps clarify the life you truly want to live, beyond external expectations and fears. Overcoming challenges in commitment. Many people struggle to maintain commitment. They may start strong but eventually fall back into old habits. If this happens to you, don't blame yourself. Recognize that breaking commitments is part of the learning process. Just as a child falls while learning to walk, you can forgive yourself and try again. Break patterns with small acts. To build courage, try doing things you usually find embarrassing or uncomfortable. For example, wear a quirky hat to work and resist the urge to care about others' opinions. These small actions help you break free from limiting beliefs, giving you the confidence to pursue meaningful changes in your life. Integrating acceptance and action. By following these steps, you can learn to 1. Detach from your mind's constant chatter. 2. Embrace pain as a natural part of life. And 3. Take bold actions aligned with your values. This approach allows you to experience life with greater peace, purpose, and joy. Final words. Today's topic was inspired by the many comments I've read from people struggling with loneliness, stress, and emotional pain. I know that life can feel overwhelming, but you're not alone in this journey. There are two paths ahead of you. 1. The path of control and avoidance, which leads to rigidity and ongoing struggles. Or 2. The path of acceptance and commitment, which fosters flexibility, growth, and inner peace. You have the power to choose. Life is full of challenges, but it's also full of opportunities to find meaning and fulfillment. One day, I hope to hear you say, I see my pain now. I carry it gently and move forward to live the life I truly value. Thank you for listening to today's video. If you found this content helpful, please share it with someone who might benefit from it. Don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated with my weekly videos.